Welcome to the family room.
Introduce yourself.
I was waiting on you to say something.
I was gonna.
Pastor John Ramsey, along with my wife
Right.
and partner in crime.
You been waiting for me to do that. It's like, hello.
I like it when you do it. You do good. Your name?
Hello, my name is Dr. Alicia Ramsey. This is my husband, Overseer Pastor John F. Ramsey Sr., and welcome to the family room.
Yes, glad you guys are in the house with us. You guys know how we roll. So as you come in today, make sure that you give us a thumbs up. Good morning, good afternoon. I guess good afternoon now. And let us know you're in the house with us. We're going to have a good time today. Great discussion. And we got some announcements and things that we'll update you guys on. And as we get ready to get into things. So we see them coming on. I see them coming on.
I see them on mine. I'm shocked I don't see them on yours. You got to click where it says chat overlay. Maybe that's it. Hello, Jackie. Great to see you. Lagathea. Some of our faithfuls. Okay, there it is.
See, this is what happens when you do overlay.
Okay, must just be a delay. Gotcha.
What's up, Jackie? What's up, Lagathea? It's in the house. And so they're coming on in. Glad you guys are with us.
Wonderful.
And it is family room time, Friday, 12 noon. We've been doing this for a couple of years. We started at the beginning, towards the beginning of COVID.
Of the pandemic, yeah.
Yeah, and looked at it as a way to connect with members a third time versus just virtual on Wednesday, virtual on Sunday. And it actually became a great tool because it's really the one thing that we can provide where people can interact, ask questions, give statements and things of that nature. If the statements are whack, of course, we won't read them. But if they're good and quality, sometimes we read them.
Yes.
But we appreciate you guys being a part today.
Definitely. Pastor and I do this every Friday at 12 noon. We took a break during the summer, which was great for us and for our family. And we're going to be doing something new. So we're going to be talking to you in a little while to let you know what we're going to try next week. And if it goes well, as we are anticipating, it's something we'll be doing on a regular basis. So
you there now? You won't go in to tell them or what?
No, because then we'll just have to repeat it.
Because we gotta wait till everybody gets home.
But Pastor and I have started this new health journey together.
Water.
Oh God. So I literally had to shower real quick, just throw some hair on and something on my lips to be on here today because I wanted to stop and get us a healthy lunch. It's been, how would you describe it?
Challenging. It's been rough. But I think the thing that's been good about it is that this is the first time in all these years we do that together.
First time.
Normally I do my thing, she does her thing.
Yes. So what came to my mind when I thought about it? First,
she got the revelation.
Well, it's a mental thing, and I have to be mentally ready because if I'm not mentally ready, I will not succeed and I won't be consistent. So I'm like, man, we are just tired a lot and things like that and dragging. And I didn't like that, and our kids are still young. We still have Jeremiah. So when I thought about going back to Robin, I said, you know what? I want us to do it together because it also gives us quality time together. Like in a doctor's appointment, we're not going to miss those appointments. So that was another reason why. And those first 30 days.
Yeah. We still got about 2 more weeks to get to that point. We got 2 weeks to get to 30 days.
Excuse me. And I'm sitting here. I got lipstick on my teeth. I didn't get to eat my lunch, so I'm so hungry. Right. So I'm just sitting there like I'm probably hallucinating, you all.
Yeah.
I did do my protein shake for breakfast. We have to do a good job with breakfast. We're horrible with breakfast. We definitely are horrible with breakfast. So that's one of my tasks this weekend is to ensure that I get us things that we can grab quickly to have for breakfast. So as you can see, this is just a flow with it Friday, but yet we have a great topic that we're going to talk about today. And before we get into our topic, I want to say make sure you register for Women of Excellence. It is coming up September the 30th. $25 registration fee gets you access to so many different things. The doors open at 7. We'll have vendors. We'll have a food truck. Then at 8 o'clock, we start informational sessions. And you can go around informational sessions because the goal of WOA has always been to minister to you physically, to minister to you spiritually, and to minister to your soul, which you tell us your mind, will, your intellect, and your emotions. So this year, we want to make sure that you can go and hit several different informational sessions and come away with tangible information on how you can continue to improve in a certain area. So make sure you register. If you are out of town, you're not able to make it, a week before, we would offer online opportunity. It will not be on Facebook Live. So we're encouraging people to come in person if they can come in person, and we will not offer that opportunity until a week before. So that's why people haven't seen that yet. In addition, we believe in supporting other women entrepreneurs. This weekend is the Big She event. Angel is a member of New Life Worship Center, and she is an intricate part of planning and preparing for that event. It is free admission. Parking is like $10. All minority vendors.
Awesome.
Isn't that cool?
It really is.
And they do a fashion show. They have a lot of community people that come and are a part. So make sure, it's at the fairgrounds. Stop by.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great event. And, one of the things that I love about, I love right now that's happening in sports is that like Deion Sanders taking that job at Jackson State,
Yes.
predominantly Black college. He has brought such a spotlight to it.
Yes.
That they are now receiving more donations probably than they've ever had in their life.
Yep.
In the history of that university. My whole point is all of us can do something to support minority-owned businesses.
Absolutely.
So make sure that you do what you can to support.
Absolutely. So make sure you share, tag somebody. They will enjoy today's conversation. This is the Family Room. My name is Dr. Alicia Ramsey.
Pastor John Ramsey Sr. I'm tired. The workout got me.
Something that I don't like about that picture. It makes my teeth look crazy. I keep thinking I got lipstick on my
teeth. You do got a little bit on there.
Oh, is that what it is?
You might want to go look.
I will. Like, I don't even have.
I've been trying to figure out how to communicate to you without.
I don't even have real lipstick on. I just have like.
Ain't nobody asked what product you got on.
I was rushing. You see, I don't have no makeup on my face. I don't see it. I still do.
Oh, it's gone now because you kept wiping it. But the whole time you was wiping, I was thinking to myself, that ain't it.
Well, you should have told me.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I ain't gonna like you. I ain't gonna just bust you out.
It's not busting
me out.
I mean, it took everything in me just to put this daggone lip gloss on because ain't nothing else going on.
Yeah, when we came home, if we could have, I think we both would have went in separate rooms and laid down. Took a nap.
We would have took a nap.
That's how sore I am. But anyway, we're glad you guys are with us. Yes. Lauren's in the house. I saw Marvin's in the house. Norma's in the house. We got quite a few. Robin's in the house. Yeah. So you guys are coming in strong. Today we're gonna. You want to jump into our subject a little bit?
Yep, go for it.
Okay. Today we're gonna talk about. I've been talking about Sunday. If you didn't get a chance to hear the message on Sunday, go back and watch it on newlifeany.org, or I actually posted it to because I got it and was able to post it to the YouTube channel too. So it's on there, and it was about how to live single and satisfied. And then Wednesday night I did a part 2 to that. In the latter part of my part 2, I talked about the things you need to know before you get married. I wanted to bring you in and have you talk about some of these perspectives on these areas too on today. And then you guys, obviously you can ask questions or what have you, but we want to jump into that a little bit. Let me just give you one quick little verse here. 1 Corinthians 7:32. It says, "My desire is to have you free from all anxiety and distressing care." This is amplified version. "The married man is anxious about the things of the Lord and how he may please the Lord, but the unmarried is anxious about the worldly matters and how he may please his wife." And then he says that his interests, in parentheses down here, his interests are divided. And then he goes on and says the same thing about the woman. So if you were to ask, what is God's will for singles? Well, I would tell you that one of his will for singles is to have undivided interest. You can do more for God during that season in your life than you can any other season in your life. And why are you doing this? Because every year I spend time on messages that deal with relationships, and I think it's really important. I think about 90% to 95, I would say as much as 95% of the counseling appointments I deal with are associated with people who are having extreme challenges in relationships. And sometimes it can be dating or fiance type deal. The other times it can be a marriage situation, or other times it can be a single person whose choice has really jacked up their life, and you're trying to be there to encourage and try to help them get back on track and get encouraged again. So that's a big, big area. I talked a little bit about the fact that God doesn't make choices for us. In order for him to do that, if God was going to make a choice for us,
That was a good one.
he would make the choice for you and I to be saved.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Bible said it is his will that none should perish, but that all should come to the saving knowledge. So, but he can't force that on you because he created you as a free moral agent. What does that mean? That means God doesn't want to force himself on you. He wants you to choose to know him and to love him and to walk with him. And so that's what that's all about.
Hello, Taiwan. Good to have you a part of the conversation today. Hello, Michelle Brown. Great to see you. Hello, Jessica Cunningham. Wonderful to see you. Tracy, it's great to see you.
You're in the
Pastor
house.
Ramsey and I are talking. Are we getting ready to talk? No, Pastor's really doing all the talking. I'm trying to get myself together.
You're going to jump in here at some point.
Well, first of all, my did you crack your iPad or did you crack your iPad?
She just showed me that the other day. Somebody cracked it. Sure did.
So
And
she cracked my iPad in your iPad?
I believe she cracked mine. Because I don't play around with it.
That's unbelievable.
And so I thought, see, I had my screen protector over there.
Goodness gracious.
And then there was a crack on it. And I took it off. I thought I had put the other one back on. So when she points it out today, she was pointing it out as if I did. Now, when the last time we cracked our own stuff?
That's what I'm saying. And I'm looking like your iPad wasn't cracked.
No, ma'am, it was not.
Anyways, because I found it in her room. That's what made me ask about it. But we're talking about things that people, and here's the deal. If you're not single, you know somebody that is single.
You sure do.
You have maybe your children are single, but just understand that your streaming is having some connecting issues.
One of them, it just says whether one of the streams.
Okay, but look what it did. It froze. There you go.
Yes, I don't know.
Okay, so get the information so that when you have these conversations, because it happens to me all the time, people feel because I'm married that I may not understand things about being single because I'm not in that season, but wisdom comes from God. And I listen to scriptures and I listen to you and I pray and I ask God to help me.
The reality is that at one point you were in that position.
That number, that's the church. Okay.
But at one point you were in that, but it's just that, sometimes we've been around other people's lives so long, they never saw that state. But the point of the matter is, regardless of where you are, it's not about age, it's about gathering wisdom. And I think that we're living in a world that seems to crave more information and knowledge than they do wisdom. And the Bible's clear that wisdom comes from God. And wisdom is that thing that gives us great discernment. Wisdom is that thing that helps us. We'll always, there'll be some mistakes in our life from time to time. But wisdom, really pursuing wisdom, minimizes it.
It does. And accountability.
Yeah, wisdom and accountability.
And listening.
Real accountability.
Listening.
Not just my best friend and everything. And your friend endorses everything you do, but doesn't jam up what you do wrong. That's not a friend. I don't care what you call it. It's not a real friend.
Listen to your accountability. Yes, you love people through their mistakes and you support them through it, but you also make sure you tell them the truth.
You confront it.
You talk to them about the truth. Hello, Pastor McMullen. It is good to see you on the thread. It is great to see so many of you joining us. This is the family room. My name is Dr. Alicia Ramsey, and this is my husband, Pastor Overseer, Pastor John F. Ramsey.
Pastor, whatever. Ramsey.
That's it. That's it. So yes, there are so many signs that are there that people want to ignore, or they, okay, talk about this one. I've heard this so many times where it is used. Okay, say for instance, you and I are dating, and I see some signs that are cautions to me. And I address them, or I talk to you about them, and your response is, well, you just need to be patient with me. Nobody's perfect. I'm working through some things. So then the person will feel like, okay, well, maybe I am judging. I need to be patient. I need to work through. What do you say about that?
I say, let's go to the Bible. The Bible says you will know them by their fruit. That's
good.
What people use as a cop out to try to keep other people from pressing in on an issue that they need to deal with is don't judge me.
Right.
Who's judging you? The Bible says you will know them by their fruit. I'm looking right at what kind of fruit your life is producing, and you talking about judging me. I'm seeing what I see.
Happens all the time.
And so my point is that it has to be, you can't back up off of that, because the thing that I think that his answer, like the illustration you just gave, his answer, well, you can't be too hard on me. You got to, be patient with me. I'm working on some things. That response should give you everything you need to know as to whether you press forward. Because what that says is, I'm getting ready to marry somebody that makes excuses for their deficits instead of fixes them.
Right. Because another thing I hear quite often when I ask questions, because sometimes, I'm just going to ask outright certain things. I'm going to just ask. And a comment was made, well, whenever I go see, your first lady, when we together, and she'll say, hi, how you doing? Like, I'm very respectful to the relationship and individuals, but literally it's like, what you going to do at this point? Because it's been years. It's not been like y'all just got together. It's been ongoing.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to give me an ultimatum to get married. Nobody's going to force me to get married. So what are your thoughts on that? Because a lot of women are hearing that too.
That response is your answer. Don't marry. Don't marry. Because now he didn't put the fact that he'd been delaying for 40 years on you.
That's it. You go ahead and
Okay, let me
answer
take
that.
this real quick.
So absolutely. And I need you to understand that when you are supporting your children, adult children, or your godchildren, your nieces or your nephews, and they come to you and they want to talk about relationships and how to deal with a relationship, you are not judging the individual when you point out signs to them to show them, hey, this is the fruit. Is it that you can't hear?
I heard what I needed to hear.
Okay, I'm about to say, because you probably would have to go upstairs. But when they show you the fruit, so this is what I've had to do many times. If your dog don't sit down and stop walking on our furniture in the basement, he know I see him because he's being sneaky about it.
That's why he just went to the ottoman and laid down.
It is. But here's something that I would say. You said, look at their fruit. That is one of the first things that I do in counseling single women. Is I show them, this is the fruit. Right. This is his fruit. But First Lady, he said, this is his fruit. And First Lady, and this is his fruit. Like, I just keep showing them the fruit. And then, like you said, they're free moral agents. I can't, put them in a chokehold to make the right decisions. Yeah. But yet I'm not going to hold your hand.
The first thing one of the things I learned a long time ago as a pastor is that when we close that service up and people walk out of that building and get in their car, I have absolutely no control over how they choose to live. My hope is that they grab a hold of that truth that they just heard and that they apply it and get some benefits from it. But I can't control it. I've had people leave the church and go do some of the most, I don't know, just unexplainable things that you could ever imagine. So my whole point is quit thinking that the fact that they attend church is your cure-all for all their personal deficits.
Yeah. Here's a good one, and I'm going to let Pastor answer it, then I have an answer for it. Pastor McMullen says this: what if the fruit they show is artificial? Some people only show the fruit that they know their counterparts want to see.
It's a great question, but that's where we have to believe God for our discernment to kick in. Because to me, I still believe that whether they're showing you artificial fruit or not, unless you're rushing the relationship, you're going to figure that out. At some point, you're going to see that.
I've seen situations, especially with this Generation Z, they don't ask questions. They just look at the artificial fruit. I ask questions. So if you're very close to me, someone shows me this facade, I don't fall for it because I'm going to use wisdom. So I start to ask people, hey, do you know such and such? When I get the same response multiple times about an individual's character and the fruit that I've seen, their relationship with their children, do they have a relationship with their children? Are they serving in church? Do they have a consistent income? None of that is in fruition. People tell me the character that I see, but you still see something different. You still want to focus on that artificial fruit. You want to focus on that artificial fruit.
That's what you want.
That's what you want.
And then later on, you regret what you got.
That's definitely it. So it's really important that you ask. And then here's a good one. We get this all the time. I'll say, well, why did their last marriage not work out? Well, it was the other person. Did you talk to his family about it? Did you have the opportunity to talk to his kid's mother about why they didn't work out? Well, no, he said she gonna say. So you only listening to his side. And then they've been married 2 times. So both marriages, it was the other person.
I've had people in my office before that were engaged, and I asked the person, why didn't your marriage work out? And when the person gave me the reason, I said, are you serious? Okay, that's the reason why you didn't stay with them.
Right.
And here are 3 fruits I've seen in your life since you've been here. How do you justify that?
Yeah.
How do you take a spiritual stance over here and then not live spiritual over here?
That's it. And then when they come to you or I complaining about, you said this Sunday in your message, you got what you wanted. That's the individual you wanted. You prayed for that person. You had children with that person. You waited for that person. Now you complaining about what you got?
Right. And again, it was your choice. I think that your selection and who you're with is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. Well, I don't care how you carry yourself. I don't care how bougie you are. I don't care how high end your clothes are. Sometimes these fools that you choose is the indication of how you really feel about yourself. Because if you knew better, you'd do better. You would wait however long is necessary to get some character. Where ain't none out there. It's some. Come on.
Right.
Now.
Just like we don't care how many Jordans he got. We don't care what kind of car he drives.
Right. You can't live in none of those. You can't eat those.
He's taking you to these fancy restaurants. He's taking you to Ruth Chris.
And he might be borrowing money to do it.
Right. He done bought you a new handbag. You done lost your mind over a handbag.
And he don't pay his child support.
Give yourself a hand clap of praise for that. I did not fall. Pastor did not buy me things when we were dating. He did not buy me things. We did our wedding. We had a budget for our wedding. We did it ourselves because we know our family. My mom and dad paid for the rehearsal dinner, but outside of that, we did everything ourselves. He did not try to buy me. He was a man with a budget, and he told me he had this budget. He would pay for dinner when we went out to dinner and those types of things, but he was very intentional to share with me, one day, girl, if you stay with me, this is where I'm going to be, and this is where I'm going to get you. But I could tell he was watching, like, is she caught up in material things? Is that all she's interested in? Will she be able to make my house a home?
I'm out of here.
He was, and it was none of that. And in addition to that, my mother taught me that. My mother taught me to work hard, get the things that you desire to have. Don't expect a man to take care of you. You come together and you work together. So I always had that in my mind when men offered to buy me things, or I never would take them.
And see, for me, I think that if you start out, if you got to buy them to get them, then you're going to have to buy them to keep them. And it's not about being cheap. It's just the fact that I knew where I was. So I'm not going to come, and I told her where I was. So I'm not going to come in and try to perpetrate and go buy you some red bottom shoes and all that type of thing. It's not that I didn't want to do that kind of thing. It's just that that's not where I was at, and I was
You
honest.
weren't thinking like that back then, though.
What's that?
Back then, everything was like paying off your debt and saving money.
Oh, it was.
You didn't even spend money like that on yourself.
No, I did.
No,
I didn't.
You didn't.
It was just making sure debt was paid off and saving some money, having something to fall back on, and trying to build a life. Those were the 3 objectives that I had. And so, but I think what she said was very good, because it shows that wasn't my perspective going in. I got to try to buy somebody.
No, he did not try to buy me. And so sometimes when people look at where we are now and they see what I have now, I try to say, we didn't start this way. We've worked together. We work hard together to get to this point. And Pastor is very good about making sure, okay, what is it that you want? What is it that you desire? And at this season in our life, I just desire for us to be healthy and happy. Healthy and happy. And happy for us is when our life is balanced, our children are doing well. You know, those are the things that matter the most to us. And there's so many things that people look at in dating that are superficial.
Yeah.
That 10 years in, you will not care if you make it 10 years. 5 years in, you won't care. 10 years in, you won't care. Now it's like we want to grow old together. We want to grow seasoned together. We just want to experience things together. That's what's important.
And another thing that's important is learning how to enjoy the journey wherever you come into the journey at.
Yes.
So we enjoyed the journey where we were when we got together.
Amen.
We enjoy the journey where we are now, as we're 27 years in.
Yeah.
So it's just about enjoying the journey and stop thinking that happiness is a location. I've said this many, many times. I probably always say it, but stop thinking, okay, well, I'm married now. Now I got to get this 6 figures. Now I got to get the 75,000.
Yeah.
Now I got to get this new car. And no. It doesn't work like that. And it doesn't have to work like that. A lot of the pressure that you're under, you got to evaluate yourself to make sure you're not putting it on yourself.
That's so true.
Trying to live on a level that you know you're not at.
That's true. It's so true. Taiwan says this: I believe some marriages don't work because they don't go to the Before I Say I Do class first before they get married.
That class helps with a lot of stuff.
Good idea. Give them a hand clap for that one. That was
I give you that. And you got to consider. And here's the thing: the biggest thing in making decisions as it relates to relationships is you cannot, no matter what you feel, you cannot base them on your emotions, because emotions change.
I just told somebody that yesterday.
You know,
somebody told me, don't say it like that. Don't I feel? I said, stop saying that. Say I believe. And when you say I believe instead of I feel, you're going to change the way that sentence ends.
Yeah. And you know, and I've had people tell me, you know, I just feel like this is the one. I said, that could be that pizza you ate last night. I mean, you don't know that. You got to kind of walk this thing out. It's a process. My thing is, if you're going to wait a long time before you meet someone that has the potential to be the right one, then why are you going to rush it when you get them?
Yeah. Because if you believe it and don't feel it, you'll fight for it. I believed in us. I believe we were supposed to be together. I believe we were supposed to be married. It wasn't based off of a feeling.
Me either.
So that I made a choice in the decision to love you. You made a choice in the decision to love me. And there are times where you have to stand on that choice. Yeah. Because life, different seasons you go through, like you're telling everyone here.
Absolutely.
Jackie says this: I wish I knew all this back then. Let's see if we can do this
one real quick. See if this comes up. There we go. I want to hit that one. When I say the class really prepared.
I was reading something in the middle of me reading something.
But I had already had it in my head. I was going to read.
But I was in the middle of reading.
All right, I'll take it down.
No, you go ahead and do that one now. And you read all of it too. Nope, read all of it.
Okay,
Don't
here
do
we go.
Tony like that. Read it all.
When I say the class really prepared you, I took it and wasn't even dating. It was to get me prepared for what was coming. Then I took it again with him. That's good.
Brother and sister. That's good. Jackie says this, I wish I knew all this back then and I wouldn't have wasted my time and life on the wrong person. So glad my life is so much better now. Jackie and Marvin.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, I told somebody this just last week, Jackie. I told them, I said, it's not, sometimes it's not when you get it, but that you get it.
True.
Because some people never get it.
That's so true.
And they old and dusty and still doing crazy stuff.
I told that.
Hmm?
Why they gotta be old and dusty?
Well, they old. They still doing crazy stuff.
Judah said something the other day.
Dusty was just a mix.
Judah said something the other day. She was just joning on somebody. And I said, don't talk about your friend like that. And she's like, nah, Mom, we just joking with each other. I said, your daddy does that. I said, how do you feel when daddy does that to you? You get all in your feelings. And she said, yeah, that's true. But I get it from my I said, and how do you feel sometimes when daddy does that?
And I don't do it that much now.
Right. And because I had to tell her, she was getting all in her feelings and saying something to me. So I would talk to you and I said, look, you was getting all sensitive. So I would tell daddy and daddy pull back. But now here you go, talking about somebody's forehead, talking about somebody can't do X, Y, Z. I said, girl, stop. Because you can't take it. And I'm big on her. Don't dish it out if you can't take it.
Yeah.
But anyways, I forgot what I was talking about. But what I wanted to say is, I've told somebody before that they were divorced and kind of going through a season where they were feeling bad about it. And I said, you know what? I know a lot of young women in their 30s that would love to have those 15 years because they're still looking for the right person. They're still waiting for God to send them the right person. They're still wanting a committed relationship. And so some of you that have made mistakes, you learned and you did have companionship and you did have someone. It just didn't work out the way you had planned, but thank God that you were able to, find someone again. Like you said Sunday, you don't fall in love, you make a decision. That was good when you said that, because so many people say, I don't love him like that.
That's because you don't have agape.
Agape, it's that eros.
Yeah,
they got
eros. They've been making them choices off of eros.
Or like you said, friends with benefits.
Yeah, friends and
benefits. That's my friend.
Benefit.
Hey, who's that? Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
And then,
who is this? Oh, First Lady, that's my friend.
Yeah. And here's another one. And this is not towards any particular person, because I never think about anybody when I say what I'm going to say. But when you have a baby after baby,
on both sides,
out of wedlock,
her or him,
that ain't a mistake.
She or he.
When you get to a point where you've had several children out of wedlock, male or female, that is not a mistake.
It's choices.
You know what you're doing and you making
choices. It's choices.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately.
And then here's the thing: your kids watch you make those decisions.
That's what I was going to say too. Yeah. Unfortunately, you're creating generational curses.
Because then when your kids start acting unlike you want them to be, you want to choke them out. You want to, and then a lot of times you need to be choked out because you help set the table by what they had to keep watching when they were growing up.
Yeah. As Tracy says, learn behavior, which is true. Everyone does not have the opportunity or was not raised in a home where they had the same biological mother and father. That is very, very common now. I was raised with my biological mother and father, no other siblings. My husband was raised with his biological mother and father. And there's so many young people today, they do not know the character of their biologicals. Like it's sad. There are things that you know about your biological's character. You know things about your father's character, about your mother's character.
Yeah.
I know things about my mother's character, my father. So I can say, or I can see, oh, I'm acting like my mom. I'm acting like, my dad. And those are things that they don't really think about.
Exactly. And all those things play a role. Someone said in one of the books, I think it was Dr. James Dobson, that your first perception of God is built on the behavior of your parents with you as a child.
Yeah. That's true.
You know, if they're loving and embracing, then that's what that image of God is going to be for you.
Yeah.
If they're neglectful and abandoning, then that's
Right.
what your thought process is going to be. Well, why should I, walk with God?
Right. I agree. I agree. Tracy, I agree with you 100% on this. I think men get away with multiple kids more than women do. I think they also get a pass when it comes to this. Oh, absolutely. Because it seems like the woman gets stuck
But they shouldn't get a pass.
with the shit, you know, with the children. So homeboy can have 3 baby mama and 5 kids and still end up with a woman with no kids as his wife.
Yep.
It's just like, but you had a woman over here with 2 kids and 2 baby daddy. It's like she's cursed or something, which is not true. It is not true. I am a strong advocate for single mothers because I know all of them are not bad women, not women who, they're women who made some poor decisions. They got their life right with us. Some of them, they were married even, and it wasn't their situation that put them in that predicament. It wasn't their fault. It was somebody else's choice. So it is really imperative as we mentor the next generation, as we support the next generation, as we counsel them, to continue to lift them up.
Yeah.
I will never forget Lemmy Battles, who would come to us all the time.
Yeah, Lemmy's the
her
girl.
husband. She had 6 children when he married her. He had none.
None.
And they are still together to this day. He helped raise all them kids.
And them girls, they got him. They got him.
They love their dad
because he is crazy about them, and they know it.
And they do.
And that's the thing.
Kids.
How do you move forward with somebody knowing they don't like your kids?
I don't know.
Whether it's the woman or whether it's the man.
I don't know.
I mean, and when I say this, I mean, I really got to make sure I start saying both sides, because that's what I really mean, because this is on both sides of the coin. Who is it that looks that good to you that you're willing to forfeit the environment your children will probably walk into, knowing that she don't like your kids or he don't like your kids?
Right. You will spend, or this situation, you have 3 biological children, 2 baby mama. You get with the young lady that has a child. You spend the money on your girlfriend's kids, but not paying child support.
Yeah.
Taking her and her kid on a vacation, and you ain't never taken or offered to take your children. Women who stay with men like that, something's wrong with you.
You shouldn't date somebody that once you see that they don't take care of their kids, why would you keep?
Because he's taking care of their child.
Exactly.
That's so selfish.
But you know what that is?
What?
That's a smoke screen that sometimes people buy into.
They do.
Because you're getting immediate benefits, but you're forgetting about the fact that look at his other kids' condition.
They don't like
No, this ain't gonna be a long run for you like this.
No,
it's gonna change.
I tell me, don't put me in the conversation. They learn now. Don't tell me if you don't want to hear what I have to say. Because I said, well, does he have children? And I say this from the female perspective because I mentor and I counsel and coach females. So I will say, he got kids. What's his relationship like with his kids? And I said, well, is it? Nah, they're kids. You're blaming the mother. Yes, women can have situations where they get bitter and angry, but you also can go to court. The daddy can go to court to get visitation rights, just like the mother can go to court.
Sure can.
To get visit. So what is he doing? How is he advocating to see his children to be a part? The school systems, they can't deny biologicals. So if dad wants to report at the school, wants to go to the school, unless there's some type of restraining order, the dad can go to the school. He can get the information. He can get the emails the same way a biological mother can. I was like, I'm not the one to throw out to, because you can't fall for this okie doke. You guys are messing up these children. You know, people that are messing up these children psychologically because they feel like they're abandoned and not wanted.
Exactly. That's exactly
because of the people you choose to interact with and date and bring in your home. Like, what do you say? It's like a revolving door. It's like a turnstile. You got a man of the day. You got a woman of the day. You brought this one to the family reunion. You bring this one to the holiday party. You bring this one on the, family cruise. Every time they turn around.
And where y'all sleeping at on the family cruise?
Together.
With y'all Christian stuff.
And got the nerve, you will have your kids in the room or right in the next room.
And then come on back next week, come church.
Like nothing's wrong.
Like nothing wrong.
God, Jesus, help me.
No, Jesus helped them.
Look, Shoe Lady says this. A lot of men.
Who's Shule?
She's on the thread, babe. I don't know.
Okay.
Shoe Lady says a lot of men hide that other child or children. Social media now makes it harder to do that. Say that.
Makes it a lot harder. And you know what? A lot of things another thing you can do though too.
Mm-hmm.
Go back, if they haven't deleted everything, go back and look at their social media on every platform. What kind of stuff do they post? What kind of things are important to them? When you read their post, does it speak to positivity and good things, or is it about what I got, or is it about me and this, that, and the other? I mean, what is it about? I mean, sometimes that tells you. A lot of times before people get hired, they go through all your social media because they believe your social media tells the story of who you really are. Some of it does, and they go through it.
They do. Talk to people. I mean, just Pastor keeps saying it over and over again. Look at the fruit. Look at the fruit before. You can really protect yourself from heartbreak. Every now and then, somebody will end up being just like a total, counterfeit, just somebody that they were not,
That nobody
saw coming. Every now and then that can happen. That's rare. That you see those shows where somebody was like had a total alias or different personality, a whole nother friend, a whole nother family nobody knew about.
Right.
Every now and then. But a lot of times, just like Pastor, you can do a background check on people. You don't have no excuse nowadays not to know.
Too much information.
You didn't know he had a case pending. You didn't know he'd been locked up. Girl, you can do all that for free.
How many evictions he didn't have? How many evictions? He telling you to move in. How many evictions has he had? Don't move in until you're married. But how times have he been evicted?
You can look all that up online.
All of it.
But so I didn't want to know. I wanted to give him a chance.
That's why your stuff is jacked.
When I say.
Because you didn't want to know. And you didn't want to know because you had an ideal that it would be messed up.
One young lady, I asked her this the other day. I asked her about something. And she said, First Lady, I remember what you told me several years ago. He doesn't have the ability to love me the way I deserve to be loved. Mm-hmm. She heard what I said. Mm-hmm. His version of love was the world's version of love. Mm-hmm. Things. If I buy you these things, you shouldn't care about my character or my integrity or all that. I got you in this crib. I always call those, no offense, NFL, NBA wives. Some of them deal with so much for the lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So they deal with the crap because they want the lifestyle. Mm-hmm. But when you know what true love is, when you know what agape love is, right? And she knows what agape love is, he doesn't.
Because at the end of the day, here's the thing. At the end of the day, the things you acquire and accumulate, you're going to leave them all. Yes. So what is the long-term benefit of all the stuff? Nice to have some things, nice to enjoy some things, but it's more important to be preparing for the future, So my whole point is you got to look at sometimes things. What does this fit in the grand scheme of eternity? How important is this really?
There are a lot of unhappy, wealthy people. Yes. Look at Bill Gates and Melinda Gates. Look at Jeff Bezos. I mean, all of them, their marriages are gone, like done now. Mm-hmm. But they have all this money. All this money. Yeah. So sometimes people think, well, if we were financially stable, if we had this, if we had that.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
You talk all the time about how you have to have the character before you receive those, opportunities, the advancements, the wealth. God, a lot of times look and say, I can't bless you with this because you don't have the character.
But yeah, because in God's system, stewardship revolves around character. If I'm faithful in a few things, that means if I'm faithful at McDonald's, no offense, but if I'm faithful at McDonald's, if I'm faithful as a janitor in the elementary school, if I'm faithful in those things, it is faithfulness, which is character, that lays the foundation for God to open up next level blessings.
That's it. Tracy has a good question. If you've never had agape love, how would you know?
Bible.
This is going to say.
Yeah, got to read the Bible.
This is going to say.
It's a ton of examples in there You can read all day long about different examples where it is completely agape. Think about even the scriptures that deal with God's relationship to us. That how many times did he confirm to Israel
Mhm.
how faithful he had been to them in spite of the murmuring and complaining, in spite of wanting to go back to Egypt and all those
Right.
types of things. How many times? So that's unconditional love. When the
That's
Bible says
it.
God so loved the world, that's unconditional because it means that he decided to love us and there's nothing we can do to alter his decision to love us. And so what makes God's love so powerful is that his love does not require a behavior from the recipient to exist. So I could be acting a fool and he's not loving me any more now than he did yesterday
Right.
because of the consistency of his love. And his love is not based around my response to his love.
Right.
It's just based around the fact that he's made that commitment regardless of how I choose to act.
Or what I do or what I don't do. You
Mhm,
know, you could think about Hosea.
mhm,
There's so many places in the Bible where you can look and see what agape love is like outside of the ultimate with
mhm.
Jesus Christ dying
Right.
for us. But when you really look at love as a decision, I like to tell people sometimes, especially if they're a mother and they're a good mother, you know, the way you love your children, especially when they become adults and they have their dumb days or they make mistakes. That's why a mother can go
Mhm,
visit their child on death row,
mhm,
or a mother can still care about the child who's a crack addict. You
mhm,
know, there you could, because it is unconditional love.
mhm,
I'm not loving him based on his actions or what he's doing or not doing.
mhm.
That is my child.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
choose to love my child. So
Absolutely.
when you go into it, like, I'm so concerned about Pastor all of the time. It's not about how he treats me or doesn't treat me. He'll tell you, you know, here she go. I listen to everything as it pertains to him the same way I do with our children. So that's the agape love with him. We can be in an argument or something, but I'm still gonna be listening. Is he eating right? Like, he on my nerves right now, but I'm still gonna make sure he takes care of his health. I may be snoring or doing too much, or there's my wife
Ooh,
being extra, but he's
listen,
still gonna say, "Hey, babe, I'm gonna take your car and sweep it out."
Smokey the
In his
Bear.
mind, he may be going, "I'm so tired of her going everywhere," but he still will say, "You know what, babe, I'm gonna go take care of this for you." That's, and it's not big. You see how those are the little things? Just
Mhm,
like the little things can spoil the mind,
mhm.
the little things
Can
matter.
can make the
Don't you
relationship.
feel that way?
I really do. Sometimes the little things are much more important than the bigger things, you know. And there's a lot of things you can do that doesn't cost you a ton of money. If your wife loves coffee and that's her thing, and if you know how to make it the way she likes it, you know, get up a couple mornings a week and make it, bring it to her. Those things are important because in the grand scheme of things, man, it's just about the daily deposits of love that you get, not about the home runs.
It is so like that. If you want to be married and you're not married, look at, are you a selfish person?
Hmm.
Um, who do you give to? Who do you spend time with? Who do you allow to get close to you? There's so many things that you can work on while you're waiting.
Hmm.
For us, I was a natural giver because of my role in my family. I took that seriously as a nurturer. He took provision as a role. Like, he was the youngest, but he was helping his mom and his dad, wanting to make money so he could do things special for his parents, very respectful of his mom and dad. So he did similar things. So we both had that honor your mother and father, despite how they act. So we really had that in common, and we didn't even know it. That despite the decision making of our parents, sometimes we still honored them.
Hmm.
And when I came into his family, it was easy for me to line up with that. And the same thing for him. When he came into my family, it was easy for him to line up to that.
Hmm.
But I looked at those things.
Yeah,
Didn't you look at those things?
definitely. Looked at all of it.
Yeah.
I was watching everything that I could think of. Not like that, but I'm just saying I was trying to be smart.
I know you
I,
were,
I
because you
just,
waited a long time. You didn't want to mess up.
yeah, I just was trying to be smart. I said, this is not a good time to make a bad decision. So I just wanted to be, prayerful and have wisdom and all that kind of thing and do it the right way. Why you laughing at me?
Because you were so serious.
I was serious.
He was funny, but he was serious.
I was funny.
He was so serious.
I was funny too.
He would wear a suit to the Pacer game. He was
did.
so serious.
I ain't had no casual clothes.
He didn't. He had dress shoes. You know how he be rocking these Jordans and stuff now, and his Air Force One, and he be all swagged out with his Hugo Boss. He wore suits and dress shoes.
That's all I had.
That's all he had. He would say, he would save.
Kevin Hart was on TNT one time. He told Chris Webber, he said he's sitting up in a suit looking like a pallbearer. I would wear them suckers wherever I went.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing too. Okay. Some people get so caught up on stuff like that. But he don't have no, he always wears suits and he don't have no. That can, I've told people before, you can change the way they dress. You could help by that.
And that speaks, towards wanting to be professional. You gonna criticize that? I think there's some people that are just negative too, don't you think?
Well, babe, don't nobody want no man walk around in a suit all the time.
No, but that was 100 years ago.
But I'm just using that as an example because so many of them,
because dudes don't walk around like that no more.
They'll just look at, well, he look like this, or his clothes. I've heard it. He don't dress right. Girl, that's something you could work out together. Don't focus on that. Or you know what? Or I don't like the way he wears his hair. Or he don't do this, or he don't. Just picking people apart. You talk about that all the time.
All the time.
How they really pick people apart. You want
now. Sometimes they don't dress right either.
Who?
Ladies, sometimes.
Oh, yes. They, you got your boobs out because you got everything skin tight. Totally inappropriate to be in a relationship. Yes, you can look attractive. You can look sexy. There's a way you can do that and not have to show everything. And he may ask you, can you tone it down a little bit? I ain't changing the way I dress. This is how I was when you met me, and you still showing. You just messed it all up. I can't even help you.
Mm-hmm. He
was the right one. God sent the Boaz, and because you wanted to look like Nicki Minaj, he's gone. Sorry, Cardi. You're by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
We ain't gonna get through all these, but I gave them out Wednesday because we ain't gonna get through these. We're not gonna get through these.
Larry says this. This has really been a blessing to me. God bless you both. Not a suit to the Pacer game.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said, not a suit to the Pacer game.
Yeah, man. It was back. When was it back? It was back in early 90s.
But nobody else, baby, was wearing a suit.
I know. I realized that when I got to the game. Except the coaches.
But you kept wearing them, though.
No, I didn't wear them like all the time. I wore it to a couple of Pacer games. How many Pacer games you went to with me back then?
I'm saying, you didn't have nothing else.
Huh?
You didn't have anything else.
No, but once I saw what time it was, sometimes I just throw a shirt on. They had
a
dress slack. No, I'm talking about before you.
But they were still dress slacks.
Mm-hmm.
And church shoes.
That's all I had.
Thank you. All you had was church shoes. I'm just saying, but I didn't. So that was one of the things that when I would buy him gifts, I would always buy him casual clothes. So when we got married, it was his birthday or Christmas, I would buy him sweatsuits, or even though he can't find a lot of those things, or even though he would give them away, or even though he won't want to wear them anymore. But that's one of the things that I would do for him.
Well, you always got to throw me out there and run me over in front of the crowd.
But I'm just saying, I would buy like the Adidas tracksuit, and then I would buy the shoes that match the tracksuit.
People know.
And then we would move or something, and I'd be like, "Well, hey, baby, let me pack this. Is there something else I could pack?"
Because I didn't want to tell you. And then you would say, "Where's your such and such and such?"
And
I don't know. I really didn't know.
I know you didn't.
And when I gave it away, I don't know where it is.
Because and then I said, "Man, you giving everything to Goodwill that doesn't need to go to Goodwill."
No, I would break people off too.
You would give them suits, but you knew not to give them the stuff that I bought you, because that would look real jacked up if they came walking into church with the sweatsuit and pants, shoes on that I bought for you.
All right. Aren't we out of time yet?
That's like regifting.
Aren't we out of time?
You would be a gift, wouldn't you? You
I
didn't.
couldn't-
You
I
didn't
couldn't.
Indian gift.
No, never did.
So what would you do with something? Somebody gave you something that you didn't like,
Put it up.
but then what?
It's just that. I never took people's stuff and gave it to somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. Apologize.
I'm not gonna apologize.
No, you drawing conclusions, boo. I'm giving you the truth. You drawing conclusions, so you gotta apologize.
All right, I apologize. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Lord
You
bless.
what?
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. What? I had to do 4 buttons on that. Didn't happen. I don't hear that.
Look, she said, Shulay said, you gave my gift away, run my money. I like that one.
What she say?
She gave me something to say. You gave my gift away, run me my money.
Listen now. That's my response to that. Both of y'all sit down. You sit down for saying it. You sit down.
But I was just to the point where, and it wasn't just like one sweatsuit, guys. I'm telling you, he did it for years. And I'd be like, where's the stuff that I bought you? Babe, where's it? And it's not that I would buy him something he wouldn't want. It was like, because he would wear it. And I would see him wear it for a little while.
Look.
And then all of a sudden it's gone.
This is a great statement that is worth being on the screen.
There is nothing wrong with wearing suits all the time. To a Pacer game? Girl,
She said all the time.
They ain't gonna be joining on my man at no daggone Pacer game. Talk about who's at the Reverend.
I ain't know nobody anyway at that point. So
they saw
shoot.
you up in there with them church shoes on.
Don't matter.
Pastor was up in there in them
I was in there.
roach stomper black church shoes. He didn't have gators yet.
What I have?
Roach stompers.
Those ain't no roach. See, that's how hood you are. Your daddy had roach stompers. I ain't never
He
had
sure
no roach.
did,
I ain't had no roach stompers.
Because
What's
I
wrong
lived
with
in
you?
the hood. What kind of shoes did you have?
I did not have. I ain't never bought no roach. Cause unlike your house, we ain't have roaches. I ain't had no roach stompers.
I ain't saying you had roaches. I'm just saying.
She just told y'all she had
I'm
roaches.
just talking about them shoes. I'm just talking about them shoes.
She just told y'all she had roaches growing up.
No, it wasn't. Let me tell you what happened. So you remember people broke in our house several times, our little hood house in the hood. So one time we were going to the family reunion. Those were our field trip, were our family outings. My mom let her brother who had a drug problem and his person, wife or whatever, who wasn't clean, stay in our house. When we came back, it was disgusting. So yeah, I've been in a house where there were little rodents, and it freaked me. It freaked us out.
But all y'all had roach stompers, so y'all was able.
Well, no, then we had to. Shia know who I'm talking about. I can't say his name because he actually didn't have time for that. You remember how you didn't call the Orkin man, but you would call the person in the neighborhood who would mix those chemicals.
My father did that. My father mixed them.
Who would mix those chemicals
My father would mix
together
some
and spray your house.
and sell them in the hood.
Later on, they ended up having to bring in the people because the chemicals, because the chemicals could kill people. It's like the government got involved later because of the chemicals he was using. But you would call this person from the hood and they would come in and he sprayed our house a few times and then we didn't have that problem anymore. But oof. Anyways, we was talking about your shoes. And
we were talking about roaches.
That gave me a cramp on my side.
I said, you didn't put your roaches out.
Yep, bootleg exterminator. We sure did. You would call Mr. So-and-so to do that, just like Pam's dad, Mr. Dickerson, could fix your washing machines. The mechanic, you knew who the mechanic was. You knew everybody in the neighborhood who could fix things. You never called.
Make that stuff sometimes.
Yeah, you never called professionals. You couldn't afford it.
Mm-mm.
I have to remind Pastor sometimes because he forget about these hood rules.
No, my father, when he was healthy, he could fix anything. Yeah. So we never had to call in people really about anything regarding the house because he could fix it. You know, pretty much most of the things. Some things break, you got to get rid of, but he could fix a little bit of anything.
There were so many things. I remember when we first got married, I knew how to fix a toilet with a hanger, pop a lock with a wire hanger.
Yeah, that's hood.
All the things that you had to learn how to do in the hood.
Cabrini Green.
Whatever. But thank you for joining us today for the family room. He's just mad because I was talking. Oh, yep, Shine's dad made barbecue pits. You just knew who to go to for what. Mm-hmm. That's just a part of it was. So Pastor was upset. 'Cause
How you pay them? You just give them a bottle of wine and they go on and fix your refrigerator?
that was Charlie Brown, who was on the corner. He could cut your grass. You know, my parents, my mom and them didn't buy no liquor, but so they would give him a little something, something. But Charlie Brown is the same man who's broken our house and stole my dad's suits. We knew he did it because he was walking down the street with one of my dad's suits. So.
Y'all didn't jump him?
Charlie Brown? Nah, that was a drug house. He lived in a heroin house on the corner of the boarding house. Nah, he didn't do that because they were breaking your house again.
It wouldn't have broken hard.
Well, because your daddy had a gun.
He'd been 4th of July up in that mug.
That's when my mom was a single.
He had no problem.
But it was just my mom, you know, and stuff.
He had no problem popping somebody.
Yeah, but no, we didn't have no. My granddaddy now, he was strapped like that. But no. Rules of the hood.
We would have got him.
Boys in the hood are always hard.
Did I tell you about that time, one time, when my parents was in the hood? This was when they lived in the hood in Miami before they moved up here and had me. That this guy broke in the house. Well, my mother started hollering. Said, Bill, I hear somebody trying to get down. And you know how my father would be. He's like, Mama, shut up. Just hold on. I got it. Don't worry about it. And he went and got him a little chair and sat by the window. They was trying to take it. Because he wanted them to get in.
Because if they got in, he could shoot them.
If he got in, he could shoot them.
Yep.
That joker got halfway in.
It's like your daddy's in there.
And I think my father had popped the light on and said, come on in, son. And had his piece right there. He tore the window up getting out of that.
No, he did. That's just crazy. You just thank God we made it. Our kids would have no clue.
Again,
they couldn't make it in the hood for a day.
They got
not for a day.
Yeah, I got to tell you a couple stories. He went out to the burbs, and he went hood on people.
Did he? Ooh, my side.
All right, y'all. Listen, thanks for being a part.
Yes.
Sorry we didn't get through the list, but
it's okay.
you got them on Wednesday.
And we have nothing but time.
Oh, and what we're gonna do next week?
We can do that. Oh, this is what we're gonna do next week. We're gonna try something new. It's time to try something new. So, Pastor Ramsey and we are going to go live on the Family Room on Thursday night. So this coming up Thursday night.
What time? 7 o'clock.
At 7 p.m. We're gonna go live with the Family Room. Then we are going to show it again on Friday at 12 noon. So to give people the opportunity who are at work, who can't log on, or who, many of you, y'all boss folks, y'all on y'all lunch, y'all could do this multiple things. But there are a lot of people that have missed out on the family over the years live because it's during the day. So next week, Thursday, we will show the Family Room live at 7 p.m. And then we will show it again on Friday. Because Friday, Pastor has to go do
all day board meeting
at
Marion. So, but we'll do it on Thursday night.
Yes.
So listen, we would appreciate, listen to me. If we would appreciate it if you guys that watch the Family Room will support the Family Room. There's two ways you can do that. You can use the Cash App information up there, or you can use text to give.
Yes.
Text the word give to 844-972-3574 and do it that way. But when you get off the thread, do it right then and support. And that support, again, it helps us do some things to try to improve what we're trying to do here as we move forward. Yes. So God bless all of you. Let's pray. You got prayer requests?
Just a second. Marvin asked, was that permanent? We're not sure yet. We're just testing it.
We're going to play with it a little bit.
We're putting this pilot out there, see how it works, and then we'll let you know.
But we know a lot of people are at work, but we still get good viewership on Friday. But we want to see what it's like if we can do it evening where, at a time where we know people are off. Most people are off.
Yes. So the food pantry, this is the second Saturday. So our food pantry is open this month, September the 10th and September the 24th. It is open from 10 to 12 at our central food pantry, which is right across the street from Crown Hill Cemetery. So if you know somebody has a need, let them know that they could drive through and receive groceries on that day. And don't forget, if you have a prayer request, put your hand in the thread or put the person's name in the thread as we're closing out. Register for WOE 2022. It is September 30th. Doors open at 7. We have a full evening of things for you.
Sounds good. Well, listen, put your prayer request in the thread, and we want to close by praying for you on the way out. So let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, we thank you for all those that were on the thread today and those that will watch this in the near future. I pray, Lord, for those watching now and those in the future, God, that you would meet and supply their needs, that you would shock them
Yes, God.
in how you provide for them
Yes,
and
God.
doors you open up for them.
Yes, God.
I pray it would almost be shocking to them. I pray
Yes,
that you
God.
would heal sick bodies, bless those that have just so many things going on in their life.
Yes, God.
They need your help. They need your strength. They need balance. Whatever it might be, God, I pray that you bless them as well.
Yes,
We
God.
thank you in advance. I pray that all of our members will be in the house on Sunday. We look
Yes, Lord
forward to seeing them
Jesus.
all and pray that we have a blessed time together in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for joining us in the family room. We will see you Thursday night at 7 p.m.
It's going to take us 15 minutes to get upstairs.
Oh, Jesus. Yes. Oh, I'm hurting so bad.
Lord, keep me near the cross.